Hello everyone. I've been traveling with my girlfriend for half a year. We've been to America, to Hawaii, to Mexico, and when we came back a couple of weeks ago, I found this beauty, a German Sabo lawnmower, left behind at our house. I think someone dropped it knowing that I love to repair stuff, and that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna find out why it was dropped here. Maybe it runs, maybe it doesn't run. I just lifted it up onto the table. I haven't examined any further. That's what we're gonna do right now. You're welcome to join us. Let's start. So the overall optical condition is not too bad. The lawnmower is dirty, but nothing seems to be really broken. It's a bit green and moldy. The motor looks good. The cap is missing. I know someone just put some plastic on it. Better clean up this mess. Exhaust still looks good. The wheels have tears. The mechanism for lifting seems to work. Everything else is quite okay. A few bends, but overall in decent condition. The first thing we're gonna do today is check if it turns, and I think it turns. I'm gonna hard with one hand. Gonna see if I can pull it. Yeah, seems to turn. Has a lot of drag, but is turning. So our first job will be take out the spark plug, shoot some oil into the piston to make the drag go away, and then check for spark. So first steps first, unplug the spark plug and then to work with these bad and cheap tools, because my good toolbox was stolen last year in Sevilla when we were traveling with the bus, and now I gotta use the shabby stuff until my new tools arrive. So take that off. Take a look at it. It's a very clean spark plug. And now to lube the cylinder, I just put in a bit of oil, and then I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna do that for a couple of times and then I'll bring you back. Looking good. The engine is now turning a lot easier, and the oil that I squirted in spit out of the spark plug hole. And now the next thing is to check for a spark. So I'm just going to take the spark plug again, take it out of the socket and then use it in the plug. And now the spark plug has to touch the metal of the case for me to see a spark. Before working on it, I will put a clamp on this so that I don't have to hold that down all the time, because with this up I wouldn't be able to pull the cord and have it spin nicely. Now we're back to the spark plug, and now I've got to check it. Oh, and I saw a spark. Let me just show you again. This is at the tip of the spark plug, is where we're looking at. Did you see it? Oh man, it's working on a small table. So yes, we have spark, and that means you know what's next, right? Next step is I will take my Zoom bottle. It's filled with straight gasoline from the gas station, so I assume it contains 10% ethanol. I just did shoot some in there, and now I'm gonna drive the spark plug back in. I'm gonna do that with the socket over it because it's just a bit easier to turn. Now it's tight. Reconnect the plug, and now we're gonna see if she fires. So she's a runner. I think we might be able to get her back to life. She's definitely a survivor, and now we're gonna check out how we can make her run without stalling on us. One thing that we should check first is the gas cap, vented gas cap, and it's bone dry. I don't know if you can see anything. It's super dry, and it's a plastic tank, so there's no rust. And that's good. So I think that the carb will be under here. Since it is running, I assume that all the mechanical stuff is okay. Should be maybe the carb that's causing the trouble, why she was abandoned. I don't know if she was abandoned because she was not running, but I think she definitely needs some love. She needs a cleanup as well. Look at all the debris that's in here. So we're gonna find out about that. That is a sucks cover, so that's 8mm nuts. I'm gonna remove them and check what type of carb is on there. Maybe clean it with the ultrasonic cleaner. And the second one. It's down here. And now the magic moment to lift the cover. Ah, it's a bit tight. Might have to shove a screwdriver in there to pry on that. So there we go. This type of foam air cleaner. The thing is, here in Germany we don't have that many rodent problems. The critters don't get in that stuff too much, not like in the US or let's say New England, and if you know what I mean. And so we just took off the air filter, which is super clean. That's like incredibly clean. I just put that back on and it's still intact, it's not falling apart. So next thing is to get this screw out. I can't see, oh, there's something like a carb under there. Oh, that's different. Check that out. So I think that's the carb. And then this must be the choke assembly. I'm gonna go up to the lever real quick and move the choke, and then we can see if something happens. Ah yeah. So this is choke on. This is normal. And this is kind of a reserve setting. Oh no, that's to stall it. That's like the kill switch. Okay. So I've never seen a carb like that before. It's just a small metal bracket here. And there's a plastic cover underneath which might contain the float. Oh, we have to check on that. I'm gonna start by removing the screws, which come off easily. Long screws. Another one. Nice of them to make a little hole into this flap to clear the screw. And now, how does that come out of there? It's moving a bit. Like this. Oh. Will I ever be able to get that in again? Okay, so there's the jet, I would say, but nothing is replaceable. There's a little O-ring, which looks still to be intact. If you look in here, there's the throttle. I think that's connected to the governor that must be somewhere inside there. And then it goes straight into the piston, and then there's this hole down there here, and there should be a float underneath. But how to access it? Let's find out. There are little tabs going in here that must be connected to the chamber, but it's hard to find out, and I don't want to mess that up. Ah, there it is. Something that came down. Oh well. That's a little piece of hose on there. And then there's the float. And how is that on there? Is there a gasket or something? Can you see it? No? Me neither. There's something. Look at that. That should be maybe in here. You know what? I'm gonna keep all my hardware in there so that I don't lose it. We're in the garden because the workshop is such a mess. And then if I look from underneath here, I see that the float seems to be connected to a needle as usual. So I need to get that out somewhere, somehow. But how do you do that? It's rusty. Hard for me to get that out right now. I would much rather... Oh no, there's the needle. Did you see it? It just fell out here. Still looking good though. So this is the needle, which still is kind of intact, doesn't have any bruises, and the float came out as well. I don't know if it's still floating, to be honest, but I don't think it's a hollow float. It's one of those foam floats, which usually is good. So I'm gonna take the little thing out here, and I might put on the ultrasonic cleaner to clean this jet that we took out. You know, the little passages. I don't know if there's something blocked inside. I tried to blow through, but wasn't able to. And so I might just clean that up. And while doing so, I will also put the float in there to check if it's still floating after 30 minutes. Such a mess out here. Whatever. I am going to the ultrasonic cleaner. Oh, which is still buried in trash. To sort that out first. I should have brought that to the paper stash. And there it is. Let's see if it still works after half a year of not being used. Of course, the plug is not in there. Is it now? Nope. There it is. Let's do 60, and we'll just like put that in here. Float's still floating. Not that good, to be honest, but if it still floats later, that'll be okay for me. And now I'm gonna go turn. it heated up a bit, so I set it to 60. Right now it's 40. I think it was 27 when we started, so you can already feel that it's a bit warmer. 45 seconds to go. And there it is, afloat, still floating, nice and warm. And the carb of the jet is here. It's a lot cleaner right now. We're gonna rinse that off with some fresh water, and then we are ready for reassembly. Now we're going back to the lawnmower. So we got our parts. Now we're able to blow through. Very good. And now we have to reassemble that stuff. First I'm gonna put the rod back in, and then the needle. The needle is put into that keyway here, and then slid to the left, to the right, wherever you're looking from, and then it goes into the seat, and the float has to click in. Let's see how I can do that. Like that, maybe? Looking good. Yeah, why not? And now I'm gonna use the seal. Put it on there again, I think. I hope that it seals again, because I don't have a carb kit or anything for it. But just hoping that everything's fine. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And then we just put that back on. I think someone was in there before us because the edge here is all messed up. I don't know if that could cause a problem in sealing. Worst case, we could always come back and put some silicone sealant on there. So this pipe is nice and free for whatever that is. And now we have to slide that under here. And you can have a look at in here. This tab coming up, and then the other side has to clip in also. I don't know if that's already how it's supposed to be, or if it should be higher. I think it should be maybe a bit higher. So I need a lever. Maybe not, maybe it's already alright. No. Maybe I should put the other side in first. Now. It's a lot tighter. And now this side is in as well. Yeah, that looks better. Yeah, that's nice and tight. And now our little jet part. Put that back into the kill switch mode. There's a little tab on the top side that has to like hold the jet part, but that's working also very good. And now everything that remains is to put the screws back in. I'll move you guys to the side. And there we go. Before putting everything back together, I will now add some fuel to the tank to see if everything is sealed properly, and to see if the needle pushes up against the seat so that the gasoline flow stops. So you never know if it's gonna hold up or not. No dripping as of right now. Maybe it's a bit more. That, to be honest, should be enough for the first start. Then I'm ready to check if it's starting on carb. I will still leave the air filter off, put the gas cap back on. Air filter will be here. This all. There's the little screws here and the nuts. I will keep them in my pocket for the cover of the carb. And now everything we have to do is try to get it running. You see that? It just started leaking all over the place. A lot of gas coming out of there. A lot of gas. I think that might be the needle and seat, because it's pouring from up here. I'm actually now going to try and remove the jet part again. I don't know if there was this seal in the jet part. Maybe that might be the issue, or the needle and seat. Can't tell you. So So with this particular lawnmower, if you put it to the kill position, it doesn't only kill spark, it also like shuts off the gas. So when I put it to run again, gas will come up here and then leak through this hole. So that's a clear sign for me that needle and seat are not working properly, so I gotta take that off again. There it is. Welcome back. Oh yeah, look at that. It's not even connected properly. I might have done something wrong while putting that back together. It's moving freely, but I don't know if there's some debris or something inside the needle. That might be a reason. Or it's clipped in, the needle is moving freely, but I can't tell you if it's still leaking or not. I will now shut on. I will now put the lawnmower into run again, and will move the tab with my finger to see if it shuts off or not. Now it's closed. Now it's running. Closed. It should work. No, it's not dripping. That's just like drips from last time. And if I open it up, it's flowing. Yeah. I close it again. And let's just say, have another try. Maybe we can bend that down a bit further to allow more leverage to close the needle and seat. Okay guys, so I did put that back on, and now I will turn it to run and see how it reacts. The gas is slowly coming up. The question is, will it stop or will it overflow again? It's overflowing again. But this time it's not overflowing from the chamber up here. Not yet. Now it is. Okay, let's shut it off again. Okay, that's weird, because it was doing it while I was manually working on the float. Third time. That I don't have a Q-tip, so I'm gonna use that little tip of a zip tie to try and get in there and clean it a bit. Okay, it should be fine. Now back to the needle again. Put that back in, like the last couple of times. Moving nice and free, actually. Maybe the float is not floating enough, I don't know. First here on the left side, and now I'm gonna click it in to the right side. Now that's done. Okay, next try. We'll move that to on. See the gas coming up again? Nope, it stays. That's a good sign. No drooping as of right now. Let's check if we're in a run. And it's still not moving up. That's very good. So I guess we can put this thing back on. Oh, what now? Ah, okay, that's coming out of there as well. I don't want to do that. Okay, if I bend that down here, gas will come out also. Found out the hard way now. And now we're gonna reattach these two and then try another time. When doing stuff like that, you have to be patient. You can't be like, oh, it doesn't work, I'm giving up. Especially with the old ones, you will run into multiple problems with each one. But it's so easy, you know, the techniques behind it are so easy. There's no way you're not gonna wing it in the end. Alrighty, clean it. Open the gates. It's open. Just move everything out of the way. Air filter housing and air filter. What do you think? Should we try to start it again? I think so. I'll bring you guys back to safe distance. That's good, she's running from the carb. So right now what we're gonna do is put that back together, all the air cleaner assembly, give it a nice cleaning, and then we're gonna look at the blades underneath. We might just sharpen them up one more time with the angle grinder, just to have it nice and sharp. And then the thing is, I have another good lawnmower. I have a Honda, and I might just sell that on eBay Kleinanzeigen, which is the Craigslist of Germany, the Kijiji of Germany, and so we might just end up selling that. Because what you do with two lawnmowers, my other one is a Honda that's pretty new, so it's still pretty reliable. This one should be reliable also. It's still dry, running good. Yeah, the trick did the bending of the float did the trick. Alrighty, let's clean her up and then button everything together, or the other way around. So if you have a lawnmower like that and you are not using it, you should always put this switch here into the off position, because that shuts off the gas also, and then gas won't leak into the carb or into the engine while having it parked for, let's say, for the winter, or I don't know. Okay, last thing to do is to, this was only tightened by hand. I will retighten the plug now, and then this lawnmower should be fine. Just turn it to the side and then have a look at the plates. Oh, they're nice and sharp still. So I just felt it with my finger and they're still nice and sharp, and there's no sign of abuse here. They're still really good. What I'm gonna do is just take off a bit of that grass. And then I will clean the mower from the top and take some photos and then sell it. Actually, good unit for just an hour of work. I have a functioning lawnmower again for free. Someone just dropped it at our door. I decided not to use the pressure washer or the compressor because that would involve that I have to haul the stuff out and connect it, but the normal garden hose is already here. I have a nice gentle pressure on there, and I have the add-on that I can use, which is a small pressure washer. It's actually a decent machine. The mower deck is made out of solid aluminum. It's not plastic, it's solid aluminum. The motor is a Sachs motor, which is, I think, really good. It has a one-wheel drive, so it's self-propelled, and all the controls are still working. I really like it. So if you need a mower, feel free to contact me. Okay, so I'm here. It's hard in Germany to find green grass right now to mow, but I just made my way up. I was working down there. I just made my way up to the last patch of green grass, and for the purpose of science, let's try if it still starts. Ah. There it is. Running good, even uphill. There she is, running really well. I don't know how much the price will be, but we'll figure that out. And the mechanism to adjust the height is still working very well. So I'm really happy with this one. Thanks for dropping this in front of my house, whoever it was. Bye.